Hello and welcome back, budding biologists. Today we're going to be looking at the movement of products of photosynthesis. Let's start off by reviewing that photosynthesis equation. As you know, carbon dioxide and water in the presence of light produce glucose and oxygen. We know that chemical reaction happens in the chloroplasts of the leaves. That glucose is used by cellular respiration to be broken down into the energy molecule known as ATP. All cells need energy, so glucose is produced in those photosynthetic cells will be transported throughout the plant as a source of energy. Glucose is transported by phloem as the vascular bundle which runs throughout the plant. First off, we're going to have a look at some of the materials and where they come from and review how they move through the plant. So our water and mineral ions such as potassium, sodium, chloride move up through the phloem of the plant up towards the leaves. Water is lost through transpiration through the stomata. Carbon dioxide passes through the stomata through diffusion, and we're going to come back to that in more detail in our next clip. And now we've got the presence of both water and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis to occur. So in the chloroplast of leaves, photosynthesis occurs and it produces our glucose. Glucose is then able to be moved around the plant as it's needed to either be used or stored. The method by which these materials are moved in the phloem is called translocation, and it utilizes water from the xylem and the materials being transported in the phloem. So this method is supported by the pressure flow theory. The pressure flow theory is as follows. Nutrients are moved into the phloem by active transport at the source. That source is those photosynthetic cells in the leaf. The water flows by osmosis, creating a pressure gradient in the plant. The nutrients move passively down the phloem according to the pressure gradient. Sugars are then actively transported out of the phloem at the sink. So they're the cells that require the presence of glucose or other nutrients. Once glucose has been transported around the plant, it is used either in aerobic respiration to produce energy or to produce cellulose for the cell wall or as building blocks for cell proteins. It can either be stored for later cells when light isn't available for photosynthesis, and it would be stored as starch. Oxygen is essential for cellular respiration and is used for respiring cells in the plant. However, during daylight hours, the rate of photosynthesis is often greater than that of respiration, which means that excess oxygen is produced and is released via the leaves by gas exchange, which we're going to look at in our next clip. This wraps up this clip for today. See you next time, budding biologists.